Hello, my name is Nymoira and I am a VTuber. I just wanted to make this quick little video today talking about how I was able to thrive with my art degree before I took my job. So yes, I have an art degree. I know, completely unexpected for a VTuber to have an art degree. I've never heard of before, I know. But I have a bachelor's of science in animation with a minor in user experience design. So, contrary to a popular belief, it is possible to get a job and be happy with an art degree and not have to just, as people say, put the fries in the bag, little bro. And I am going to tell you how I did that. There's, I think, about maybe 2.5 to 3 steps, simple enough to follow, on how you can achieve this feat for yourself. So, if you are a up-and-coming student, or you are a student, or you've already graduated and you're having a hard time finding a job, hopefully this video can help you in some type of way or fashion. I do want to preface this that, of course, my life experience is my own because it's me and it is not you, it is not your life. So things might vary, but I think the message, it can translate and people can apply this to their own lives, hopefully. So, starting with step 1, or are these steps? I don't know. Number 1. What am I numbering? I don't know. Number 1. What has really helped me in being able to thrive after getting an art degree is, and I know people hate to hear it. They hate to hear it so much because everybody says it, but it is caring about other people. Boo! It is being empathetic, being a kind person that cares about others, aka networking. Okay, I don't know if I like to use the word networking because I feel like it implies that the only reason why you are talking to people, talking to other people, is so you can get something out of it, and that's not what I'm trying to push forward here. I'm trying to push forward genuine connection with other people, because then it can help you not only build a network that you might utilize in the future, but it can help you build confidence within yourself. It can help you build your social skills. It can help you learn things that you might not have known that you were capable of by talking to others, by being authentic, by being genuine. Okay, and so this starts, if you are a student, this starts in school, not just out of school when you graduate or whatever. No, it starts in college. So getting to know your peers, all right? If you're gonna get an art degree, you're gonna have to work with others. You're gonna have to learn how to work with others. And sometimes you might work with jerks, okay? Sometimes you might work with people who have problematic opinions. It happens. It has happened to me where I have had teams, I have been the leader of teams, and I'm managing people, and some people are lazy. You have to learn how to be assertive to get things done. Some people have conflicts with each other. You have to learn how to talk to people individually and resolve conflicts. And then some people are just out and out toxic people and you have to learn how to deal with these people like an adult, okay? And dealing with it like an adult does not entail getting upset, crying, and whining about whatever opinion they just spewed at you. It is about setting boundaries. It is about not being disrespected, but at the same time, not, throwing punches or anything of the sort. You can set your boundaries. You can still keep your self-respect without ending up in prison, all right? So, good thing to remember. The other thing to remember when caring about others is that it is not just your peers, it is your professors too, okay? Your professors are people. Your professors are human. And they also have thoughts, feelings, and connections and things, Speak to your professors outside of, when is this grade gonna be posted? When is the project due? Yes, that is important, but you should also be talking to your professors about other things, maybe about their history, about their experience in the industry of whatever class they're teaching, okay? If they're teaching a ceramics, talk about if they've ever had any of their work in a museum, and gallery, in an exhibit, whatever, and get their input on things, and genuinely listen to what they are saying, Foster a good relationship, because then this can come back to help you in the future. I think the whole reason why I was able to get my first job pretty much right out of college, I graduated in 2020. So once the lockdowns were lifted, I was able to immediately get a job, was because of my professors. They chose me for an internship. They saw how personable I was. They saw how much of a hard worker I was. And so they were able to get me the internship, which then turned into experience before I even graduated, that helped me get my first job. So speak to your professors, speak to your peers. Okay, moving on. Number two. Another thing that I feel like nobody likes to hear. Nobody likes to hear this. Become a unicorn. Become a unicorn. Every job is looking for a unicorn. Every single job. And people don't like to hear it because, and I don't agree with it. If you want an animation done, hire an animator. If you want some video editing done, hire a video editor. If you want social media posts, hire a social media manager. But sometimes, especially if you're working for a smaller company, and I'll get into that, you have to wear like 10 hats. You have to do the job of 5 different people making one guy's salary. And it is what it is, but it is something to get you experience. It'll be tough, it'll be hard, but it'll also be something new, and you will learn a lot. You will learn a lot. And at my first job, I was that person. I was doing web design, user experience design. I was making animations. I was doing video editing. I was making the social media posts. I was making the internal social media posts for like all of our internal stuff. Like it was a lot. I was doing auditing of the website. I was coding. I always had something to do. I was never just twiddling my thumbs at work. There was always a backlog of projects that were due and things that were late. And yeah, but I would also say to not stress over things like that, right? You know, it's not the end of the world. You're not saving lives. You're not a doctor. You're not, okay? So if something gets late, it'll get done. It'll get done. You know, never tolerate, me personally, this is just my personal experience. Never, and I know it's hard for like new grads and things like that, tolerate disrespect. Now, it is not appropriate for another adult to yell, to belittle in any capacity in any way. All right. And if that were to ever happen to you, you need to know that you can and should, you know, nip that in the bud right away. Respectfully, set your boundaries and don't be disrespected. That may call, like, you might have to leave the room. You might have to say, hey, you know, obviously this conversation is very heated, but I do not think that yelling at me or snapping at me is an appropriate way for an adult to conduct themselves. So I will be removing myself from the situation, and we can talk about this another time. There you go. Bada boom. Because it's going to happen, you know, especially in creative industry, honestly, in all industries, you have to know how to stick up for yourself. So that's like a 2.5, step 2.5 out of things that kind of go along with being a unicorn. Project management, and also just general adultness. How to carry yourself as an adult, how to handle things as an adult. That's part of your unicorn, your beautiful magical nature as a unicorn. Yay! And so for my third step on how to thrive with an art degree, and how I personally did it, apply for things, for jobs, for positions that people don't normally look for. Okay? Everybody and their mother are applying to animation studios, to game studios, all these big name AAA game studios. Yeah, they get like 5,000 applications, probably more than that globally. You're not just competing with all the people, all the artists within your country, you're competing with all the artists across the world. So it's like, you know, if you apply for Blizzard, don't apply there, but this is just an example, okay? You're gonna have 50 billion other people applying to work there, but only maybe 2 people applying to work at Joe Schmo's bank in Idaho, right? So apply to Joe Schmo's bank. They might not pay a whole lot, and it might not look glamorous on a resume, but you gotta think, in these small cities and these states that people don't really glamorize, the cost of living is much more affordable, and the job typically, you know, it's smaller, like a smaller company, and so you get to know your coworkers a lot better, and you have a higher likelihood of getting the job, of getting something to put on your resume, getting that initial experience. Because people are like, how can I get experience if no one will hire me? Okay, Joe Schmo in Idaho will hire you. There is nobody else that can do the thing that he's wanting besides you. So quit trying to apply for all these giant big name companies. I mean, you can if you want to. There's always a chance you'll get in, but also apply for the little stuff. All right, apply for the surf shop, apply for the restaurant, apply for the insurance companies. All right, you have a higher likelihood. Even hospitals need like animators, UI designers, and things. So that was my first internship, was working at a hospital. So apply there. A lot of people don't think about those things. There are more places than just game studios, animation studios, movie studios, okay? Or even indie studios. And if you can't get something right away, then yeah, go put them fries in the bag, bro, because you need to pay some rent. Or if you're living at home with your parents, you need to help your parents out. In the meantime, you can be working on making stuff to put in your portfolio. So to get to the second part of this video, which is before AI took my job. Now, AI. I don't think you can mention the creative industries without talking about AI. It's everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. It is here to stay. It is not a fad. It's not going away. This is just a truth that we need to accept in order to properly address things and move on. It's not leaving us stalling, okay? It's like you got the clap and there's no medication. You're gonna have it. Sorry. Just try not to spread it to people. But yeah, so my personal experience with AI, this is when I got my second job within the creative industry, and I just, everything, at first it started off good. You know, rose-colored glasses. I was so happy. I was so excited. This new job, remote job, fully remote. I'm making twice my salary of what I did at my first job. Life was good. Life was great. Fat stack paycheck. But I noticed that one, the company kept acquiring other companies, and two, we kept having layoffs. It was like a layoff every month, if not that, every other month. People that I would know and have contact with about certain projects would just not be there the next week. And it was very scary. It was a very anxiety-inducing feeling to work at a job knowing that, oh, I could be next. I could be the next person laid off because everything was getting replaced by AI. I mean, we were like coding with AI. All the writers were getting replaced with AI. It's like, why have a person writing research? We just have AI do it. So writers laid off, researchers laid off, like all the artists, whole art teams laid off, because why have an art team to put together a presentation or things for the application? And like we were making very art heavy applications, very art heavy applications. And so to get rid of entire art teams to utilize AI generated slop to present to management and to also start implementing in our apps, in our software, just didn't sit right with me as someone who has morals. Life is so hard when you have morals. Life is so much easier if you just don't care about anything, all right? You want life on easy mode? Just don't care about anything. And life will be the easiest ever. But if you care about stuff, and if seeing these types of things hurts your heart, like it hurt mine, it affected me greatly, to the point where I was not laid off. I will be honest with you, I was not laid off, but I did decide to resign. And part of it was just I did not like how the company was structuring itself, and I did not like the constant layoffs, the constant chaos, just chaos galore. Like, jeez. So I did that in order, I didn't do it without a backup plan. My backup plan was that I had already enrolled in school to get another degree in a completely different career field, because I wanted to change from the creative industry. One thing I will say, adding on all my years, I had around maybe six years of experience in the creative field, which I always considered myself like entry level, but I guess technically that's like mid-level. I would say early mid, maybe. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. You can be an elitist in the comments. I don't mind. It's okay. But I just knew that I don't know if I could have done another 10 or 20 years of that. Just the constant nonsense. And I know every job has its ups and downs, and it's nonsense, as I call it. As a creative person, I felt that when I expend all of my creative energy at work, at a job, when I'm done with work, I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do anything else creative. I have no more creative juice to burn. I'm done. I'm tired. And so I was so busy coming up with ideas and things for work that I had nothing left for myself. So this is definitely something that you should consider, that you should think about if you want to go into a creative industry. If you have an art degree, are you gonna be okay with working, sometimes long days to get things done, and then come home tired and not want to draw? I didn't create anything for myself for years. The only thing that I did as I got my second job and I was already planning my exit is I got into VTubing. So this was a creative outlet for me. I was able to, made my model. I made this model, but before this model, I had a 3D model and I made that one too. and it was just a nice change of pace. It was a nice release. So yeah, hopefully all of these tips will be helpful for you. Hopefully you learned something, and I would love it if you shared. If you're someone who has worked in the creative industry, or you have an art degree and maybe things didn't pan out as you wanted them to, or maybe they did, I would love it if you would share in the comments below, just for other people to read and for me to read. So that is all I have for you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.